When you get a new voiceover script, how do you make the client happy? How do you read it to pass the audition? And how do you deliver the script to actually work to persuade the intended listener? I'm going to share with you how to approach every voiceover so that you'll feel 100% confident that you are delivering the best read. There's a very simple way to approach a voiceover script, provided it's a very well-written script, and you can use this every single time. A voiceover is a narration not accompanied by a visual, right? It's theater of the mind. Every voiceover at its core is basically a marketing piece. It's designed to persuade someone to do or feel something, right? If you have specific directions from your voiceover client, by all means, you should follow them. That's a must. But if you don't have that direction, or maybe they leave it up to you, or there's just different ways you can take that direction, I'm going to offer you an approach that I believe you'll agree is always the right choice. The best approach, the proper bearing for any read, is to make the strongest emotional connection that you can with the listener. That's important. Write it down, write it on a Post-it note, stick it on the wall in front of you. You want to make the strongest emotional connection you can with the listener. When you connect on an emotional level, it builds trust, it creates loyalty, and it creates a relationship. It's natural. It's the way human beings interact. So how do we do that in terms of reading a voiceover script? Well, it's simple. You read the script and use your imagination to truly, honestly, sincerely feel and experience what you're talking about, what you're saying in the script. I'll give you an example, and something silly even. Let's say it's a pizza commercial we're reading a copy for, and you're describing the toppings, right? You're talking about the cheese and the sausage and the pepperoni and now this is silly, but it's real life, right? Because these are the type of scripts that we get sometimes. When you're describing those toppings, feel them in your mouth. Feel the texture, feel the heat, feel the temperature, taste the pepperoni. I think I should change the title of this video to Taste the Pepperoni. This isn't a new idea. It's a common technique used by legendary musical performers. They've done this for years. A performer approaches the microphone while the introduction music is playing in the background, and they take a moment, they close their eyes, and pause before they sing anything. That's exactly what they're doing. They're tasting the pepperoni. They're putting themselves in the mind space to what they were feeling when they originally wrote the song, or what the songwriter was feeling when they wrote the song. For example, if it's a breakup song, they're imagining feeling of the loss, but they're seeing their own loss and something they've experienced in their life, or what they were experiencing when they wrote the song. If it's an inspirational song, for example, they're feeling the energy and empowerment of working hard to success, but they're seeing all those specific examples of what they were working through. They're putting themselves in that same mind space. That is your precise key to perform an effective voiceover read that creates an emotional response and resonates with the listener. You are imagining to truly honestly feel and experience what you're saying. And that translates to the listener. There's many ways that we can paint that emotion with our voice and body in our voiceover message, and that's really where the title of voiceover artist comes from. How do you use your voiceover tools like speeding up and pausing, inflections or emphasis, or delicate and soft deliveries, dynamics of volume and quiet and loud, or the pitch of your voice? There's something else you can do that also helps you with the process. It's smart to have a picture in your head of who you believe, or who the client tells you is the intended recipient of this message, this voiceover message that you're reading. Before I write or read copy that's going to be produced as a voiceover, I ask these questions either to the client or to myself. Who's the demo? Who's this intended for? What is the marketing goal? What are we trying to persuade them to do? Is it to buy something, to feel something, to come back and listen to more? Who's the ideal client? Are they male, female? How old are they? What are their buying habits? What do they look like? What do they do often? Who is that ideal client, or who is the message not intended for? Sometimes that could be helpful too. The answer to all of these questions is going to help get into the mindset so I can truly and honestly feel the words I'm reading, so I can better connect on an emotional level as a voiceover artist to that intended listener. It's acting. So when you get a new script and you're excited about the potential, maybe it's a new, bigger client that could evolve into a regular, great paying gig, or maybe you have an audition for an audiobook, which would be awesome, or maybe it's another unexciting 30-second read for a product you never heard of and won't ever likely need. How do you get in the mind space to deliver a successful voiceover that makes that emotional connection? Put yourself in the story, imagine experiencing senses that you are describing. Taste the pepperoni. I love that. That's good. There are thousands of voiceover artists out there, and many of them are competing with you for the same slice of pie. The voiceover game is more competitive than ever, and every little edge that you can give yourself is going to put you in front of someone else. So if you simply and really, sincerely feel it, imagine experiencing what you're saying, that additional emotion will be received by the listener through your voice, through your words, through your inflection and your tools. The emotion, even if it's on a subconscious level, will be heard by the listener, and your connection is going to be stronger. Your ultimate goal with every message you deliver into that microphone for a voiceover is to make the strongest emotional connection that you can with the listener. One of the things that I talk about all the time as a voiceover audio engineer is having a really good sound is one of the most important aspects of making that emotional connection. Because if you have a big, wide frequency range and your voice has a big, earthy, warm tone and it's clear and your message is clear and you can hear every little detail, that is going to make a stronger emotional connection. And when you put it all together and you use your voice and your inflections and your body and you really feel and see and experience what you're talking about, that is powerful. Your ultimate goal with every message you deliver into the microphone for your voiceover is to make the strongest emotional connection with the listener. If you can deliver that, you'll make the client happy, you'll sell the product, you'll get people to want more, and you will outshine your competition.